I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All Complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Hey everybody, welcome back to CT Review. Today is October 16, Thursday, 2025. Hope you had a good day today. So yesterday we talked about popping up again, and we did. We went straight up. We took out that liquidity. And then we went to the breakout level right here. Oh, beautiful. And then guess what? Well, if you had an expansion here, well, at the least, you're expecting a retracement back in the range, right? And we talked about being speaker situations. You have a very big possibility of it coming back down. We do understand you have to be flexible, understand that, okay, well, this is still fucking wide open. So it might come down lower. We'll see. And this is literally the buy yesterday was perfect. I mean, so inducing people to buy, and sure enough, I bought that. But you gotta move forward. So I'm gonna run through these trades, right? A little too much trading today, but at the same time, I have some events that I have to go to and might not be trading, but very difficult AM session in the beginning. So what was the logic here? Well, I know I wanted to take out that yesterday's high, right? So we took out that high. And then immediately I'm getting a sell off here, and I know that I got this imbalance here. There's a lot to talk about. I'm going to talk really quick, and I want to make this short because I have to go. But this inversion here, coupled with that bearish imbalance, you can see I'm already in it, using it. Let it come all the way up. I'm trying to get into here, but here's the thing: I know that 25% can give me trouble. So sure enough, the first imbalance is right here, as you can see that, right? And then we sell off from it and get to the 25%. All right, this trade's a wrap. All right, and then this price shoots back up, right? And then makes a shift here. So this could, you think, okay, this might be a lower high to then follow through. But in reality, this lower high here, this is a shift right here. When it pushes up and retraces back to the 930, 930 is very influential. You see we're digging in. And I understood that the goal was still trying to come down here, right? Because of what? Well, you have a very big possibility that this is still the push up for the last drive. At this moment, I'm highlighting the weekly wick. That weekly wick right there. All right, last week's wick. All right, and then we get to this breakout level. You can see it on the daily. Look on the daily. Look at October 9th, Thursday. You can see that we tapped that. We sealed that breakout. I talk about this all the time, right? And then what was I saying? And that was the reason why I'm selling. Look how I'm selling this bitch. I'm selling this because I know we just sealed that, right? We fall short of that 50%, which is fine. And it starts wicking, and boom, this pops up and then digs back immediately under that low of that last up candle. That's a sell, right? For me, I don't need to get in with, and it turns into a what do you call this? A reversal. You can see the pattern right there. So technically, I'll be pushing sell here, or I'll be pushing sell here. I didn't even draw it, but there's an inversion here, right? And you see that it'd be sitting in there, right? And what was I doing here? Well, I don't know what's really going to happen for sure, but I was like, you know what? Just take the trade back into what? From this low to this high, I'm going into 50% of the range, and I'm knocking on that upper quadrant of that weekly wick. Okay, that's still quadded up there, right? That's what this level is here. Yeah, this is the 25% quadrant, lower quadrant, right? So anyways, all right, this trade's done, and then guess what? Okay, so you step back and you play like jump rope, right? What does it do? Comes down, tags this imbalance, an inversion here, to the tick, 50% specifically. I'm like, oh, you bitch. So I buy it because I'm like, okay, maybe this is a higher low to push up. Maybe we really go bullish. We don't know, right? We don't know that. And I still have that goal of coming in here. But guess what? It fails, right? And then boom, right here. You see this? This inversion right here, we come right through it. I should have extended it here in the screenshot, but you can see that we're popping in and boom, selling off right from it. Guess what? It rushes right down here. I said, okay, you bitch, I got you. Guess what? Just like very similar data yesterday, but obviously today's price is staying low, or came lower. So just like yesterday's sell, right? If you take a look at that, and by the way, the AM session, first imbalance is right there in the green, and then this is the PM sessions, right? So and it's coupled with that old week gap. That's not a coincidence. So I understand that's very, very valuable. And then just like when we broke that low and we made, so it's a retrace, so it's an expansion and expansion that creates a reversal, just like yesterday, right? And just like yesterday, when it broke the low, what did it do? Well, the next phase is a retracement and then expansion again. This was the same principle, and I took advantage of that. So you had a broke of a low here, right there. We pushed back up where? That first imbalance of today, right? Now that's resistance. Or yeah, it pops up, but you get the drives up. 1, 2, 3, and then I see. Look at this. Look at the language of the candles of the bearish candle. Strong closes. Then this candle pops up. When this pops up to the tick, hits the high of that first imbalance, I'm pushing the button for a sell because I know that's that last squeeze of the seller's candle. Because some people are just pushing sell right there, right? And by the way, when I sold this up here, I had a lot of confluence. So I know it looks crazy how I caught that, but you have overbought right here. And then I also had, before I move forward, what's it called? Right here. I had on the VIX, I had this push down right here, this 1040 and 1045. I had this push right here. And then we've already kind of came in here and you're expecting it to kind of push up. Right? It's sitting at a 50 right here and then all the way through. I'll come back to that in a second. But that's me entering that way, right? And then where am I going? You notice how it didn't hit the 50 here, the 50 level. I have it in green here. And what's the green highlight? Wow, that circle. What has it? I've been highlighting it this whole time. As you can see from the first trade, what was I doing? I was highlighting these equal lows right here. You see those equal lows right there? So I know that we're coming for it. It's just this is the way they ended up delivering the price. So this low doesn't hit the 50, and at this point we're in here. We're probably going to seal this and come lower because why? Look at the Asia low. We never rated it. We have all that easy liquidity, dude. It's like, and you're just sitting here like, well, dude, come on now. I'm not fucking stupid, right? We talked about this exactly yesterday, man. So, anyways, I'm capitalizing on that, right? Okay, cool. My day is done here, but okay, I end up going on trying to go on lunch, but I stay with it a little bit, get out here, and then guess what? We come down, we seal the opening range, and we have today's opening gap right there. They're nested together. So what I do is I buy this initially. I'm like, I'm going to buy this real quick. And guess what it does? Because in general, I'm bullish, and ES had already swiped this out. And I thought maybe that was a divergence. It's okay, whatever. And I bought this here, and it pushes up and stops at the 50. Look at don't get lost with all these lines now. It's simple: 25%, 50%, 25%. Okay, 930 level. So when this happens and it stops at the 50, I'm like, fuck, man, really? And I'm like, this is probably going to be a sell. Then you get this candle that is super strong. We come down and then we pop back up. We hit the 50 again. And I'm like, oh, this shit ain't going to work out. Comes down, closes. Then it pops back up. and it hits the 50 for the third fucking time. And in the background, I have that gap of the week. But over here, that's also that first imbalance of yesterday. And I realize I'm wrong, literally. And it wicks back, and I'm like, fuck. And this is how I get entered, right there. This next candle is opening and below that gap, and it literally starts pushing down. I mean, it was just like, flip by us right now, right? But hey, it is what it is. And because I understand that now, we not only are we going into to take out these guys, but I got a little fib right here, quad fib, and I know where 50% of that range is, even though it might fail. I know where 50% of that range is, and that's why I'm holding it to get outside of this, because number one, this is ugly price action to buy anyway. You don't see any imbalances. It doesn't make sense to buy it, but it was me just trying to say, hey, I'm buying this level right now just to see if it really gets and pushes up. Okay, fine. But I have to be able to be flexible. Anyway, man, I get into the midnight. By the way, that's the midnight level down here, and that red line is at 50%. Very simple. There's not too much shit here. So, beautiful trade, takes it out. Then what? Now I drag out the PM session of yesterday. Okay? The PM session of yesterday, which I think I forgot to highlight as well, again, in the video. And then you can see me, I got this dragged out now, right? From the AM session, it's in the dark. Look how it's sitting right there, right? So, that's how I was able to fold over. So anyways, we come underneath resistance. We use that gap and the settlement as resistance. This bearish imbalance holds it. It doesn't keep pushing up. Some drives down. Now I got this first imbalance here, and then I have this measured. Did I? Yeah. So the measurement down to come down here to this 2 to 2.5. You can see I'm measuring the 2 15-minute body candles, up candles, right? So here's 2 to 2.5, right? And then also that -1 was right there. So that was another reason why I was trying to get down to this area. Anyways, price comes down here, right? Comes in, plays around. Not pretty here. This is not a pretty price action. And you see this bearish imbalance, it ends up holding. So it doesn't keep popping up. So what is this? Right here is 1 drive. Right here is 2 drives. And right here is 3 drives. And the way I'm able to catch this, I took some losses trying to catch this bitch right here because I seen the bodies respecting on that imbalance. I wanted to take off. Look at the bodies. Dead stop in its tracks, right? It needs to keep going if it's going to win. I've had plenty of break-even trades today. And I took some losses today. And guess what? I was almost going to fucking say, fuck this day. But then sticking with it, things panned out, right? So even when I take a shot like this, right? Guess what? When it's pushing up and my entry is here, my stop loss is underneath it. When it's coming back down, that fucking stop is going and break even because it's immediately wrong. Here is a prime example of when it works. So I understood that they just rated again. We had divergence here. What's it called? Almost at the 2.5, and really this area here was also waiting for the price to come into that previous daily's opening gap, right? But if you go back to the VIX, I know I'm bouncing a little bit here, right here. So they gap up, right? When we gap up, and right here is when I say they're pushing up. That means we're coming down. When they're going to come down, that means we're going to be pushing up. Okay? And I understood that this is a huge imbalance past this high right here, right? And that's how this trade ended up working out for me beautifully. Monster. Fucking bottom tick. Why? Because I understood. Okay, so now look at this leg here that I'm highlighting. Going up, I'm highlighting just the whole like range. External high, external low. And then here's 1 and 1.5. But look at the leg itself. Look at the leg itself. Look at, see this, you got this imbalance right here. That's inversion, right? And then look at the bodies now working here. Comes up, closes. Next candle opens, dips, takes off. This next candle opens, closes above. That's strong. That's what I want to see. That's how I know this trade is working out. You're going to say, why didn't you push buy here? Or why didn't you push buy above this change of delivery? I can do that. Fine, I can do that. But if I did that shit, well, see, here, you didn't really have a closure. You didn't have a closure above this down candle, the stupid 1 minute. You didn't have a closure there. So yes, it's risky. Yes, I'm just trying to be antsy and whatever. And I understood that, lunch was going to kind of come back and retrace. And notice how we retrace back here in London. But why am I buying this? Why am I so gung-ho to buy it? Even though it's so low to this low. Well, because of the fact that where are the breakout levels to the left of the chart? Right here. Number one. That's the first spot right there. This was a low. And we broke it and we came underneath. We used the daily open gap. Look at the resistance. This is easy to sell. Boom. I'm trying to come up. So we pushed up. We tagged on that. And I was actually fucking at lunch because at this point I was exhausted. I'm like, dude, fuck off. I'm not a slave. You guys got me fucking over here trying to work all damn day. Get the hell off my dick. I didn't want to trade anymore after this. After some of these trades. But it was just moving so cool that I'm just like, hey, stick around. I'm like, I'm going to wait till I catch this buy and then I'm going to go to lunch. That's how this happened, actually. And then, so what? Pushes up, gets right to that resistance area again, hits the one. At that time, I wasn't by the computer and I couldn't close it. So the price came back where, obvious breakout right there. You can see that's a support block right there. We push above it. It comes back to get them. Then it pushes back up to what? Initially get this imbalance right here and this breakout area right there. And then that was it. It's a wrap. I'm trying to put it behind every 1 minute candle low and then I get stopped out. And believe it or not, this is fucking almost 200 points just right here. So it's just phenomenal. I knew this trade was going to happen and it was going to be used with this area. Something else I feel like I'm missing, but I'm in the right area to 2 to 2.5. That's why I'm like, okay, I'm trying to catch these little fucking drives. I know where we are and I know what they're doing. And obviously this is ugly, but when it came back, I was like, oh yeah, it's done. The trade isn't working out. I don't need to have a fucking big stop loss like this to find out, dude. It's just the way I do things. But anyways, couple drives, and then it's in this 1 and 1.5. What do you think? It almost, by the way, almost hit the 25%. Obviously, you know what happened after that, but. And this is why, not to fuck around and find out, I squeezed it. And I was like, oh, take this out, bro. But I had to go to the barber. I had to go do some shit. And I'm just coming back now. And I have to go. But as you see here, bodies got stuck here. And it was sell off from that opening gap of today. That is a specific level. This is not random, guys. Or ladies, if there is any here. Retrace back up, and what did it do? It made a new fucking low. Took out yesterday's low. Beautiful. That's not beautiful, but I mean, it's beautiful if you were trading it. I'm not fucking with them. I told y'all this was going to be in the beginning of the week. I said this is going to be a troubled week, but I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it pimp and fucking, higher low, higher high. Higher low, higher high. Selling down, and that was it. And then buying this, and that's it. Done. And then, so this doesn't look good, but I don't know. And this is an inside week. As you can see, the week is inside the previous week's candle. So it can get tough. And look, the speaker continued. I didn't make that shit up when I was talking about it. Look, I can't make that up, man. I'm deleting this. You can't make this up, man. That's manipulation, bruh. How do you think I know this? Right? So you have that risk of it coming down, right? Okay. It is what it is. All right. Fuck. I have to go. 20 minutes. And then Dow was the signal here of us selling down, right? And that's how I was able to still catch 2 sells down here. 3 even. How many sells did I catch? I didn't buy once, but except for that last buy. Sell 1. That's a sell 2. Sell 3. Sell 4. And 1 buy. Notice how my trades are selling. Why? Because we came up and we took out that fucking high of the previous day's high, and then we came into the breakout level. And I don't know why I didn't draw this, but there's obviously a bearish imbalance here. And I didn't draw it. All right. And not sure why it's not going on everywhere else. I just didn't want too much shit on the chart. And then this daily imbalance is kind of annoying. But the bodies are sitting around that 50%. And then let me move this in the back because this is annoying. And then you'll see that we a hair above that. And I know that. So beautiful. Okay. And 50%. Look where I caught that sell. It's not coincidence. I just don't want this shit on my chart. But boom. Right there, 50%. And I'm deleting this now because this is annoying. But it is also what's it called? And that's why you're getting this big reaction coming back in. Oh, let me close the door a little bit. So and it's very possible. And you know, this was again what I have keep going up. Is it kind of realistic or not? But it's just such a big range. And remember, and then look at the we hit, we went above that 25 and they pulled back in. Oh, another thing is you can see the candle closure comes right back in here. This is just this 1 hour. The 4 hour, you can see also here, the 4 hour is better for this conversation. Yesterday when we pushed back in, look at the 4 hour, right? Pulls back in, right? So there's no closure there. There's no strength of it keep going. Look at today. We didn't, the 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock, right? Yeah, 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock. No bodies in there. And then look at the 10 o'clock. Now the 4 hour pushed up and then rated and then came back in. So that's how I know that this is flowing in. And then the 2 o'clock, I was obviously not by the computer. I know that this could be a great sell here because of the fact that, okay, so when I'm taking this buy, this is coming to a lower high, almost a mean reversion, right? I'm not all over the place, right? So almost like a mean reversion trade. Yesterday, it went higher and through. Okay, fine. But today, they didn't do that. And today, my minimum goal was to come up into this area because this was a breakout area. And then this is a lower high. I could have sold it, but I knew I wasn't going to watch the chart, so I left it alone. But the 2 o'clock candle hasn't started yet, and look where it sells from, the gap. So when we're coming up, you shouldn't see this break right there. See that? This should keep going. And it did not. It broke here, and then it broke again, and then this is the 2 o'clock candle, that 4 hour candle. So if it's going to be a bearish 4 hour candle, and you're going to see a swing develop maybe with this 4 hour candle, that means you're expecting another lower low. Does that make sense for you? I hope it does. And then pushing down. I got to go, man. What was I gonna say here? Dollar looks weak. Shouldn't have came down this low. Looks rough. Big gap here though. So, and then again, Dow with the signal. You had a higher high here, and then it sold down, right? And never made new highs. So that was that. And then look at Dow here, came lower, took that internal low, right? So it's still bullish, but it's not looking healthy. I'll tell you that. It just doesn't look healthy. As far as the seasonal data goes, remember I said the 15-16 we would be selling off and we kind of make these lows. It's high resistance. It's coming back in. You would really need to see price push up and make a new high for it to be like a healthy, bullish quarter. And that's all I can leave it at. But, they had more room to come back in. So that was that, man. But that swing right there, look at that swing right there. That shit does not look good for the market. I'll tell you that right now. I mean, could I even say that we might be bearish? It's literally dead neutral, so I don't care. We'll let the market tell us what's going on, and I was still profitable regardless of what we did and what it did. Shake out here, 2 drives down, and that's Dow. And then S&P, different story. And by the way, you had a divergence, of course. So you had a lower high here, and you had a higher high with Nas. That's the other reason of this sell down, right? So, and then Dow, also a lower high. So you had a daily divergence right there. And that's super key for it pushing down hard. And then took out the previous day's low, tapped on top of the gap. And this is where we are. I don't know. That's why I said from the beginning, this is trouble. Because no price action, literally. And we want to be bullish? Pff, that fucking sucks. And it's not like it's a small gap. It's a large gap on futures. So that's why I was like, yo, just come down already and knock that out, But hey. Can't make this shit up, man. And then, God, speaker there, pulls back, makes the high, and then breaks. Then you get the lower low, lower high, and I maneuver pretty good with it. So if I have to continue, I don't know, man. Friday, I don't know. It's this week's probably gonna stay the way it is. I will have no expectations, but I don't know. Right now, I'm running out of ideas. If I was to keep it simple, and let's just say this gap isn't there, which doesn't make sense to say because the gap is there. But let's just say that they hold this for a moment. And we broke that low. I mean, if this becomes a swing here and it closes and the next candle pops back up and starts pushing up, I'd say that we'd go for all-time highs. So obviously this is going straight up here, right? That's option 1. Option 2, they've already squeezed all this, and Friday might be a fucking, I don't know. It's been really volatile, so I can't see how it's just not going to really move a lot, but that's the bullish scenario. I mean, the week's over, bro. So I really don't care. But if we're bearish, let me go to 4 hour. Yeah, I mean, it might pop up like this and really hunt and really go. I don't say all this tomorrow, but I don't know, bro. You guys take care and God bless.